Now, our guest tonight is Tim Bodill. He is from Phoenix IT, and he's going to be talking about how better adoption of the cloud enables SMEs to free up real estate, skills to focus on their core businesses, and it really is about making certain that you get the maximum return when it comes to using the technology that you're using in business on a daily basis.
Now, you don't need to have all of those worries. You don't need to have any people or skills on site. You don't need to have any real estate that worries you. You don't need to have any equipment on site. All of the standard services that you need from computing can be delivered from a remote data center. You don't need to know where it is. It's really enabling smaller businesses to access the same level of compute power that a large business has been used to for some time. Larger organizations have been delivering technology out of their own data centers for many years. You can now afford to have a very high-speed connection into your business, which enables these services to be delivered remotely rather than having to have everything local, as you described earlier. What the cloud offers is for a small business or indeed an individual to take advantage of very expensive, very sophisticated security measures, but on a shared basis. You only pay for the bit of it that you're using. Because of the technology, because of the security, because of the level of resilience that's built into these environments, whilst there may be outages, their impact is usually very minimal. Our CloudSure UK product and a lot of the typical providers aim to provide a full end-to-end service over the internet connectivity. So you have a connection into our data center, and over that we'll provide you with email services, standard Office applications, your word processor, your spreadsheet, your communications, so your telephone service and any messaging service that you might have as well, which of course can be very sophisticated now and include video. And maybe your line of business application. You mentioned that you use Adobe here, so we will provide an environment on which to load your application in our data center. So there's no need for any technology, any real estate, anything, any storage of equipment on your site other than the devices that you want your users to access those services with. You don't have to worry about licensing anymore, and you're absolutely right. Not only is counting the number of users that you have using the licenses one part of the problem, but keeping the software updated is probably a bigger problem that many people don't necessarily neglect deliberately, but certainly neglect from a vendor's recommender perspective. And all of those things would just be taken care of for. The cloud is perfect for giving you a whole new world of choice as to how you back up and how you provide resilience in that data. The question really is, how important is it to you that you can access that data at any time, in any place, and on any device? And the cloud will give you a whole host of options as to how quickly you can get at the data, how easily it is to access various points in the data. There are so many different options now, and again, this is a part of what the cloud brings. It gives you choice. Thank you for listening. As we've already talked about, we recognise that most of our customers, most of our small to medium customers in particular, have for a long time had to bring in specialist skills to look after their IT systems. And really what I've tried to get across tonight is that technology has moved on to such an extent that we can now provide most of your day-to-day compute requirements from a remote location, and our service is a UK-based service. Our two key data centres are in Farnborough and in Leeds, and all of the services that we deliver will be delivered from those data centres. So particularly if you're in a regulated industry and you need to know where your data is and you want to go and be able to look and touch it at the locations where the data is, then we can provide that service. But I guess the underlying message really from me is that you don't any longer have to be the slave of an IT manager or an IT service provider that really doesn't understand your business and doesn't make an effort to do that. All we want to do is to keep the boring bits going for you, and it's not the most exciting message to deliver, but actually what's important is that we do it well, and you know that when you go to switch on your email, it's going to be there. When you want to use your word processor or your spreadsheet or your own line of business application, it will be there, and that's what we endeavour to do.